Well, we feel that it's a very interesting concept because it has these three dimensions. The conservation, so really halt the loss of the biodiversity. It has this kind of education and research which is our core policy. And also here it comes from linking research with policy. And then the third point is it's really shaping the future. It's a kind of action, it's dialogue, it's multi-stakeholder, and it fits to the development goals, Agenda 2030.
These are very unique sites. We have a huge network of 686 sites in 122 countries. So we are covering an area of almost the size of China. And we have 256 million people living in Biosphere Reserve. So it's a huge network and it's a huge crowd of people. And what is unique in this network is that all these people are struggling to implement sustainable development solutions in their sites. So we have a plan, a 10-year plan on how to improve sustainable development in these sites. And since it's a huge area, it's a number of people, if we achieve to establish sustainable development approaches in those sites, we believe that it will give a huge impact worldwide.
MAB are very important to us because they help us in sustainably conserving our areas. Because I look at three core components of the MAB. One of them is conservation of natural resources. But secondly, I look at development of communities around us. And thirdly, I look up about education and education matters and the monitoring of what are we doing in our national parks and the communities around us.
Yeah, you see, these programs are really important because these days the natural resource which delivers ecosystem service are deteriorated because of multiple functions, like people's livelihood are, deteriorating. There are poverty, and there are some natural factors as well, like degradation and stuff like that. So because of that, these resources are degraded. So we have to conserve this resource, having this kind of project, so they can contribute for the conservation of this resource, and this resource can again, contribute for a good ecosystem service.
The MAB program in the Biosphere Reserve are very important to countries like Africa, in Africa like Uganda, in that they balance, they enable managers of protected area to balance between consumption and protection. In that you find that in some areas like in Mount Elgon, for example, if it was a national park per se, we would say no touch to the natural resources. But being a Man and Biosphere Reserve, we allow sustainable harvesting by the local communities of the resources, because in the first place, nature is conserved to benefit and to develop the local communities. So MAB programs are good. Additionally, they expose the managers to other systems, to other approaches of conservation, and that is great.
Et oui, les réserves de biosphère sont importantes d'abord sur le plan politique, puisque c'est sous la coordination de l'UNESCO, qui est une organisation intergouvernementale dans laquelle plusieurs États, notamment ceux de l'Afrique en général et ceux de l'Afrique centrale en particulier, sont membres. C'est aussi important parce qu'il y a des services écosystémiques qui sont très très importants, très larges, mais souvent sous-exploités. Donc on a cet enjeu-là, puis il y a des enjeux culturels, parce qu'autour de ces réserves de biosphère, vous avez les populations locales, les populations autochtones. Dans le cas de l'Afrique centrale, vous avez par exemple des pygmées qui vivent, donc ils sont vraiment détenteurs de plusieurs savoir-faire traditionnels qui peuvent être utiles dans la valorisation de la biodiversité. Et on peut aussi ajouter des enjeux économiques avec le développement du tourisme.
The Biosphere Reserve and the MAB program are important for all countries, in part because they're pretty much like a model or a laboratory where we can try to integrate the different components of sustainable development, conservation, and how these can work together.
It is a resource conservation model, unlike the previous approach, like the protected area approach, which somehow, delineates the people from the resource. And Biosphere Reserve is somehow innovative because it cares both for nature and the people.